Two families move here to Virginia Beach at the same month, same time. They have the same budget, number of children, and both are coming here for the Navy and a PCS move. A year later, one of them tells everybody it's the best decision that they ever made, and the other one's already trying to sell the home. Same city, same market, and the difference wasn't luck. It was what they knew before they bought the home. So before you make this move, let me give you the honest version, the real pros, cons, and what this city is actually right for and who it's right for. I've worked this market for over 13 years and closed well over 400 homes here personally. I served in the Navy before I ever sold a house, so I'm not going to give you the tourism board pitch or the doom and gloom, just what it's actually like to live here in 2026. So let's start with the good, because there's a lot of it here in Virginia Beach. First is the obvious one. We have the beach, the Atlantic Ocean, the Chesapeake Bay. Virginia Beach has over 35 miles of coastline, and that's not just a vacation thing. It's a daily life thing. People here surf before they work. Before work, they might fish off the pier on a Tuesday, take the kids down to Sandbridge on a random Saturday in October when all the tourists are gone and the water's still warm. You don't get used to it exactly, but you do start to take it for granted in the best possible ways. A coastline like this in almost any other part of the country costs you a fortune to live near. And here, it's actually pretty reasonable when you think about it and compare it to the Northeast, Florida, or coastal California. So which brings me to the second pro. And this one is one that might surprise a lot of people, and that's the cost of living. Virginia Beach sits right around the national average. The composite cost of living index is hovering right around 100, which for a city sitting directly on the Atlantic Ocean is almost unheard of. Compare that again to the coastal California or the Northeast. It's not even comparable at all. It's not even close. The median home value right now is in the low to mid 400s, somewhere around the $420,000 range, depending on which source you trust and which week you check. Now that number hides a huge range, because you really can find a very nice, solid home in the Kempsville or Bayside communities in the sub neighborhoods of those areas for right around $400,000 or under, or you can spend $600,000 as you get closer to that oceanfront. Areas like Great Neck and some of the more affluent neighborhoods will run you higher yet. The point is, though, that there's a version of this city that fits, a lot of different budgets. And the median household income here is right around $90,000, which is above the national average as well. So the income to cost ratio actually works for normal day, everyday people like you and me. Third pro, and this one matters a lot for people that I work with, the military economy. We're home to the largest naval base in the world right next door in the city of Norfolk. Oceana Naval Air Station is right here in Virginia Beach, and you've got the Little Creek base, the shipyards, and a whole defense ecosystem feeding this region. That's what it means practically is two things for you. One, if you're military or you work in defense, your career has a home here for the long haul. It's not going anywhere. And number two, the local economy is usually incredibly stable, okay? It doesn't swing as hard as one industry town because the Navy isn't going anywhere. For a buyer, that stability shows up in your home value. This market doesn't crash the way speculative markets do because the demand underneath is real and it's permanent. And while I'm on the military piece, let me give you a tax number that a lot of veterans just don't know. Virginia exempts up to $40,000 of military retirement pay from state income tax. So that's a big benefit. And I know there's other states that do better off than that, but it's pretty good. And there's no age requirement on it anymore, and there used to be. So that's a big change and really important. So if you're retired here in your 40s and you're starting a second career, you could get that break right now, not when you turn 65 years old, okay? That's real money every single year, and it's one of the reasons a lot of retirees from all over end up setting roots here permanently. Fourth pro, the four seasons done right. You get a real summer here, a real fall, a mild winter, and it might snow a few inches once and shut the whole city down for a day. A spring that makes the whole place bloom. It's a temperate area. You're not going to shovel sow for 5 months of the year, and you're not going to be melting for 6 or 7 months of the year. For a lot of people coming from the deep north or the deep south, that balance is a big part of the appeal. Okay, that's the good. Now let me be the guy who actually tells you the downsides, because every honest agent really should, right? There's downsides to everywhere. And because these are the things that genuinely affect your daily life and your pocketbook, I'm going to break them down for you right now. The biggest one, and I'll say it plainly, is traffic. specifically the tunnels. Hampton Roads is a region that's split up by different bodies of water, which means to get across it, you're going to have to travel through bridge tunnels. And the Hampton Roads Bridge Tunnel in particular can turn a 20-minute, very simple trip into an hour or an hour and a half or more on a bad day. If your job is on one side of the water and your house hunting on the other, I want you to make that drive, make that commute during rush hour before you buy the home. And I'm really serious about that because I've watched people fall in love with a house and forget to test the drive, and then they regret buying the home within a month. The good news is that within Virginia Beach itself, transportation costs and commute times are actually below the national average. It's the cross-region trips and the tunnels that get you. For example, if you're going to be in Virginia Beach, Norfolk, Chesapeake, we call that the South Side, and you're going to go to the peninsula like Hampton or Newport News, you're going to have to cross that Hampton Roads Bridge Tunnel. Now, the second downside, and this is one that no national real estate channel is going to tell you honestly, flood risk and flood insurance. We're a coastal city. A meaningful share of properties here carry some flood risk over the long term, and that risk is rising faster than the national average as the sea levels creep up each year. Now, that doesn't mean every house floods, but it means flood zones matter enormously here, and two houses on the same street can have completely different flood insurance situations. One might be in a flood zone and the other may not, so we have to look at that. So before you make an offer on anything in this region, you need to know the home's flood zone, if it's flooded before, what the annual flood insurance is running. This is the single most expensive mistake I see out of town buyers make, just because they don't know the area, they don't understand what tides are, all those types of things. But it is 100% avoidable if you do your homework and have someone in your corner working for you. I'll dig into the details on any specific property. Just ask me, happy to take care of it for you. And third is hurricane season as well, because from summer to the fall, we watch the tropics here. Most years it's a few rainy days and a little bit of wind, but every so often it's more than that. It's a manageable reality if you're prepared, but it is a reality, and you should price in the insurance and an occasional storm prep as part of living here on the coast. Number 4, a couple of smaller money items that add up. Utilities here run a little bit more than the national average, something about maybe 10% higher than the national average actually. And that's partly because of the summer humidity that we have here and running that air conditioner all the time. The property tax rate is a little bit on the higher side for the region too, at 97% per $100 of assessed value, which on a $400,000 home here works out to be about $3,800 a year. It's not extreme, but it is real, and you should fold it into your monthly number when you're figuring out what you can afford. And fifth, the one that's a pro and a con depending on who you are and who you ask around here. And that's the tourists. Some people complain, some people don't mind it, but in the summer, the oceanfront is going to get packed. If you live near it, you're going to be dealing with traffic and crowds for a few months of the year, specifically really around the first part of June all the way into October. But if you live 10 minutes away inland, you'll probably barely notice it. And honestly, you get the benefits of all the restaurants and events without the headache. So it's less of a real downside and more of a thing to factor in when you pick your neighborhood. I personally love the oceanfront. The boardwalk is one of the best I've ever seen. There's tons of restaurants, local hotspots, and live entertainment most of the time of the year. It's also a great place to walk and just relax. The ocean has a way of doing that. The waves crashing in have a way of bringing you back home, okay? It's a great place also, don't forget this, for a staycation here in the area. So bottom line after all this is, who is Virginia Beach actually right for? In my experience, it's a fantastic fit if you're military, defense connected, or you just want a real coastline without a coastal price tag. It's also great if you value a stable economy over a flashy one, and if you want 4 seasons that don't punish you. It's a tougher fit if you have to commute across the water every single day and you hate sitting in traffic, or if you're not prepared to take the flood zone seriously as part of your home search. So here's my honest take after 13 years and over 400 plus closings here in the area. The people who do great in Virginia Beach are the ones who go in with their eyes open, who pick the right neighborhood for their commute, their family, and their budget, and who treat the flood question as homework instead of an afterthought. Get those 3 things figured out, and this is one of the best places in the country to plant roots. If you're planning to move to Virginia Beach or anywhere in the 757 area, that's exactly what I do every day. Virginia Beach, Chesapeake, Norfolk, Portsmouth, Suffolk, Hampton, Newport News. Give me a call. I'm happy to help. I'm John King with Berkshire Hathaway, RW Town Realty. You'll find everything at my website, 757king.com. Even have a great BH calculator and some really cool hubs and tools covering this entire area. You're welcome to call me directly anytime or text me at 757-270-3994. Whether you're a year out or your orders are already in hand, reach out and I'll help you figure out the right move. And if this breakdown was useful to you, hit like, subscribe, share it with a friend, because I go city by city across this whole region so you can buy here with confidence. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next video.